Whenever you get fighters who are being super hyped in the wake of one great performance after the next, their fan bases can get a little bit lightheaded and start claiming some pretty crazy things. Look at 10 years ago, the hype behind Gennady Golovkin. You put fantasy fights towards these fans, and they're like, well, he wins every one. Sugar Ray Robinson, the way Golovkin smashed Matthew Macklin, of course he's going to win. Four-weight world champion, former undisputed at Bantam, currently unified at Super Bantam, Naoya Inoue, certainly has a lot of hype behind him right now. I feel much of it is deserved. But I would go one further and like to back up something I've already claimed on a thumbnail, that he is already an all-time great. I would like to preface my argument by going back a little bit and looking at Nicaraguan fighter Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito. Now, when he was first put up on HBO in 2015, and they said, oh, look, here's your new pound-for-pound number one, most of the people didn't know who the guy was, so they just flat out rejected that statement, not realizing that he was already a three-weight world champion with a very high KO percentage for a smaller guy, had been super dominant, I don't think he'd been flawed, and he'd already taken scalps like a young Juan Francisco Estrada. There was all that goodness there that could justify the claim. But of course, they didn't know who he was. So there was an initial saying no to that, just flat out, which is much more common in the lower weight divisions where ignorance is rife. But what is interesting is that people then, the naysayers, are always looking to confirm that initial negative impression, regardless of what the fighter does. They're always going to pick out something negative. Right, so Inoue has just blasted Stefan Fulton. He goes straight for the top dog at a new weight, and we're not all completely sure what's going to happen. And all things being even, he probably makes it look easier than even most fans were thinking. But now it's, pillow fist Fulton. Oh, well, he was crap. He made him look like crap, so people are happy to jump on that idea. They are looking to confirm that initial rejection because they never liked what they were told in the first place. Okay, so what do we say for those people who give Inoue his dues for the Fulton win, and they say, yeah, okay, it's his best victory, but other than that, his resume is weak? I say, no, it is not. The win over Donaire in 2019, who I'm pretty sure was 36, so people always say 40, Donaire looked good before and after that first win. He showed form, and he was in a grueling fight, which he managed to last until the end. You can't do that if you're this ancient, brittle little guy. It was a worry to hear that Donaire was going down to 118 pounds so late in his career, but he showed that not only he can get down there, but he is still very dangerous. People forget that in that Super Series tournament, Ryan Burnett, now retired, was the number one seed. And Donaire basically retired him with some crazy body shots that gave him some injury. Donaire was a dangerous guy down there. The much more clinical rematch was a combination between Donaire, of course, being older, and Inoue really starting to get to his peak, which he is currently at. And what about that quick win over Manny Rodriguez, who had been IBF bantamweight champion, who has shown form after getting beaten by Inoue? No way did he lose that decision against Raymark Gaballo. That was a legitimate robbery. And what I mean by that is that there's no honest way to score that for Gaballo, who of course got the official decision. Rodriguez is a good fighter. He was just made to look ordinary. I think Jason Maloney might not be doing too bad now. And Naoya Inoue's fourth opponent, when he was at light flyweight, Ryuichi Taguchi, I think that's how you say it, he went on to become a world champion and retain his belt a few times. So people do their homework. They realize these guys Inoue has beat have gone on to show and prove their worth as decent fighters. When you just look at the numbers, 25-0 with 22 knockouts, it reads like a good prospect. A bit like John Mugabe before fighting Marvin Hagler. But the fact is, there's a lot of substance there. He is just super dominant. Yes, he is an all-time great. How do you think Mike Tyson is an all-time great at heavyweight? It's certainly not by defeating any great fighter in their prime. If you want to take the negative angle with Tyson's career, you can do that all day. Oh, Larry Holmes leftovers, this guy's no good, that guy was scared. Or you can take it for what it was, which was dominating a collection of good fighters and just doing it in this tremendous style. The ironic thing is that a lot of the naysayers actually concede how good Inoue is by moving the goalpost to a ridiculous degree. So now they go, okay, now only until you beat Lomachenko or only until you beat Gervonta Davis, then you're a good fighter. It's like, what? We weren't even sure if he could go up to 122 pounds. And now we want him to try and fight the best at 135? Give me a break. You've just basically told me right there and then, this guy is amazing. So yeah, the die has definitely been cast. You look in the future for people to try and diminish the next thing Inoue does. If he goes up to featherweight, if he becomes undisputed, always trying to chip away and confirm that initial negative reaction. I do appreciate the fact the hype can be a little bit annoying. The biggest fans proclaim some ridiculous things. No, he's not as great as Manny Pacquiao right now, but Inoue is taking his own little career path. He has accomplished more in the weight divisions he's fought at than Manny Pacquiao has. And we don't know how high he's going to go up. Probably not as high, but maybe being more dominant in the divisions he competes at. Let's just sit back and enjoy it, because Manny Pacquiao seems to be enjoying it as well.